Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Uh, oh, okay. I can. Is your connection okay?
I think so.
Okay. It's a little bit delayed, but there's no problem. Can you tell me what's your name?
My name is Wellington.
Wellington, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Brazil.
Ah, okay. So I see you must have started a lesson because you have 20 minutes. Did you start a lesson already?
Now, my nephew was started.
Sorry?
My nephew, she got my. Sometimes she get my accounts.
Oh, okay. Okay. So for today, did you want to do the presentations, lesson 6?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
you
could
did
be.
start. Okay. So, what do you do for work, if I could ask? Hello?
What?
What do you do for work?
What?
What's your job?
I'm physics teacher.
Oh, physics teacher. Okay. So I'm sure that you've had to do this. When's the last time that you had to give a presentation?
And English.
Um, in general, if you had to do it in English, it would be better. But yeah, what was just in your language? It's fine.
In December. In December.
Yeah.
I have a presentation in July in English.
Oh, okay. So what
But
was it about?
I don't know how can I don't know how can I will do this. It's about my research.
Okay. So can you give me some details? So if you're telling me about the presentation, give me some details. What was it about? Who was your audience? And how did it go?
My research will be present. Have this presentation about the I can say my research is about the study of interface computational simulation, uh, and then we study layers above materials. And I don't know exactly what I will do because I started now this research.
So the presentation was at the beginning of the research, or were you talking about the conclusion, or just like starting out?
Now as I started now the PG, and but my research are not defined yet.
It's not complete yet. Okay. Okay. So who was you
Yeah,
presenting to? You were presenting to colleagues or who exactly?
yeah. I will present for colleagues and for the professor, the instructor, my instructor.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
for a group, a research group, and there are the instructor, the professor,
Mhm.
and I think like around 25 students.
Were they your students or just students in general?
What? I don't understand.
The 25 students, were they your students or no?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I when I said I'm physics teacher, it's because I have this formation as, but I'm not work. You
Uh, I-
know,
yeah, you're not working right now.
I
Okay.
don't I don't I don't work I don't work yet. I'm studying. I finished the master degree in March the last year,
Okay.
and I started the PhD this year.
Oh, so you're more of a student right now. You're not really teaching at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, at the moment I cannot do work because I get a scholarship. So
Okay. So I gotcha. So let's take a look at the vocab. And sorry, because I think there's a delay. So if you hear me speaking after you, it's just a delay of connection. But let's read these words. I would like you to read the word and the definition, just because I want to hear you speak a bit more, and it's good for your pronunciation.
presentation. Give information about something.
Okay, so presentation, I think you know, we just talked about that. Next one.
Yeah. Chart. Drawing. Which shows information simple, often using lines, curves.
All right, I think every presentation has some visual. It's a chart, usually a graph, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I don't heard this. I understand this. What means?
Okay, yeah. So chart can be like, you know how there's different kinds of graphs. So you have line graphs, you have the I can't think of any other graphs right now, but you have like different kind of graphs when you're given presentations. Anything that's a visual aid to help people understand what you're talking about, that's a chart. You know, it's another word for it.
There's a histogram or box chart. Next one. Audience. The people who sit and watch a performance or presentation.
Yeah. You've heard this one?
In this case, for example, when you finish your research, you need to present or to show. Present. Yeah, you need to present for at least in Brazil. You need to present for instructor and more two other professors. And I can say this case I will present for the audience.
They're your audience. Yeah, those people are your audience. It can be like anyone who's watching you do something, right? So if you're doing a play, that's an audience. If you're doing a presentation, that's an audience. Anything that you are giving them something, whether it's entertainment or education, it's an audience.
Okay.
Next one.
Okay. Visual aid. Something you look at, such as chart or image. That is used to make something easier to understand.
Yeah. So this one, similar to chart, but a visual aid is anything that's not words to help people understand, right? So if I'm describing something to you and I use like something like this, I can say, you know, this is what it looks like when blah, blah, blah. This can be the visual aid because it's not written word. So it's anything that's visual to help you understand something.
This word aid means something like
exactly
help.
Yeah.
Because in French there's a verb.
Yeah, right.
That meaning many help.
Yeah. So, and you know, visual is sight, is seeing. Anything visual is seeing with your eyes. So. Yeah. Next one. Do you speak French, by the way?
Online. Yeah, a little bit. I started to study English before English.
You started to study French before, you mean?
Before English. No. Before to start to study English. Not today.
Yeah.
In my life.
Okay. French is it's kind of difficult, I think, for me anyway, but it's a good language. Okay, next one.
Outline a short description of the most important ideas or facts about something. It's like an abstract.
Like what? Sorry, say that again.
It's like an abstract.
Kind of. It can be abstract. Oh yes, actually, because you do research. Yes, it's an abstract. That's exactly what it is. Cool.
Okay. Next one, to illustrate. To give information through diagrams, list of numbers,
Diagrams.
etc.
Diagrams. Yeah. So if you're doing a presentation and you're explaining something, you can say, to illustrate my point, and then explain what you're talking about. So to illustrate is to make it, it's kind of a way to tell them to understand more.
Okay. Got it. Choose
Summarize.
To describe briefly the main facts or ideas of something.
Yeah. So in the end, you summarize everything that you've talked about, right? Do you have any questions about any of these words?
No.
Okay. Next one, idioms. Idioms are good. A lot of the time, these are like translated into other languages, or sometimes they're not. But let's take a look. The first one, in a nutshell. Can you read this here?
Very briefly, and the fewest possible.
The fewest, right? Because there's a lot and a few, so a little. The fewest possible words, the least amount of words you're explaining something. For example,
the presentation was a disaster. To put it in a nutshell.
So let's say, for example, that example, you're talking to your friends, you're telling them about your presentation, right? You can tell them every detail of why it was terrible, or you can just say, in a nutshell, it was horrible, right? Or it was a disaster in a nutshell. So literally, a nut, like the food, it's small. So in a shell, all in all, and then you explain what it is, whatever it is. It can be good, it can be bad, but it's just a shortened version of what happened.
But it's like a synonym of bad.
It's like a, say again?
It's like a synonym of bad.
No. So in a nutshell can be good too, right? I can be talking about, I just went on this amazing date, or I could say, in a nutshell, the date was great, right? So it can be anything. It can be positive or negative. You could be talking about information or a situation. It's just summarizing, really just telling you something in a really small amount of words about whatever you're talking about, Yeah, it's commonly used. It's very common.
It's like a result.
Yeah. It's always in the end. Like in the end, you're talking about whatever it is. Yeah. To go with the flow.
To relax and accept what is happening without trying to change things or do something different or difficult.
Yeah. So I think maybe you've heard this before. It's super common if you watch like films in English or something. To go with the flow, it's people that are like, okay, just go with the flow. Go with the flow of water, right? River, you just flow along. It's the same thing. Just accepting whatever happens. It's like, I'll go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah. So the example here.
If there's a problem, I try to go with the
Mhm.
flow. That's like
Yeah. All right. And then mine goes blank.
mine goes blank, unable to remember or think anything. That's a blank in the mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, have you ever done, like, when you were a kid, if you were talking to your class or something and you completely forget everything, or you're taking a test and you've studied, but then all of a sudden you forgot everything you studied about and your mind just like goes blank? Yeah. Yeah,
Always
me
happens.
too. Usually when you're nervous or something, it happens. It sucks. All right, let's read the example.
Sometimes when I get in front of an audience, my mind goes
Right.
blank.
Cool. So can you,
It's okay.
sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
So can you try to make a sentence? Choose one. You don't have to do for all, but choose one of these idioms and make a sentence with it, just to see if you're understanding them. Choose one of these idioms. So we have 3. Choose one and make a sentence using that one idiom, whichever you choose.
Oh. I'll choose the easier. Go to the flow. Go with the flow. To teach. That's hard. But when I don't know when someone speak or when someone asks a question that I don't know the answer, I try to go with the flow.
Okay. So when someone
It's weird. It's weird.
I'm typing it for you too, so you can see the correct sentence structure. So when someone asks a question that I don't know, I try to go with the flow. Good. More teachers should do that. I remember having teachers that they never wanted to admit they didn't know the answer to something, you know?
But the teachers need to
Yeah. But sometimes it's nice
because
to admit it.
when I was a student and high school, generally I learned in the wrong way because the teacher didn't know the correct answer and give me any
Oh,
answer.
that's terrible. No. Oh God. Yeah, it's like it's better to just say I don't know. All right. So we have 2 minutes. I want you to try to connect these. So these are the synonyms. These are obviously different words, same meaning. So try to match them. Some of them have more than one.
Okay. Charge. To demonstrate.
Not quite.
No, I think there is not a controversy.
It's similar, but there's a better option.
Oh,
yeah, it's okay.
Charge as diagram. Or graph.
Exactly. Diagram and graph.
To illustrate as to demonstrate. Yeah, to demonstrate or go to the flow. Go to the flow.
Yeah.
Flexible. Like this. Briefly. Outline.
No.
No.
There's a better option.
The very option synopsis.
Oh, for the outline is it can be yes, but okay, I'm a little yeah. So for in a nutshell, I mean.
To illustrate could be to exhibit.
Yes, to exhibit, to show.
And then the show. I think I didn't got it. Exactly.
Okay, so in a nutshell is briefly and sum things up, right? So you're telling something briefly, you're summing it up. It's in a nutshell. It's a small version of what happened. Yeah. Our time is almost up. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah,
have a nice day.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.